Hello, everybody. What I want to talk to you about tonight is um, just words. This is going to sound stupid, idiotic, whatever, but I truly believe words can change a life, either for the positive or for the negative. As you can see, I'm in a different configuration tonight. I really don't have a great studio set up, so trying to work with what I have, give you different angles and some different topics. So I think a while back I probably touched on this a little bit, but some words that can be very powerful. It looks like something's going on here. Is it me or am I just seeing some flickering of the lights here? I have this pretty cool light here, but it was showing glare on this window here, so I had to reconfigure it. But words can be very powerful. It doesn't take a whole lot of words to really hurt somebody, and it doesn't take a whole lot of words to uplift somebody. So, I would say the obvious ones that, anything that, like a lot of people tend to spout off at the mouth and don't even realize what they are saying are negative words. And it's not really comprehensible for them to understand that could be hurtful to somebody. Somebody who is very well off, or I don't even, that's probably not a very good phrase. Somebody who is doing better than somebody else may not understand the struggles of another individual. And so it's how you should really always try and think what's going to come out of your mouth. Sometimes I don't always articulate myself real well, like on video, but if I realize after I've said it, I try to clarify it. So this is kind of like a catch-22. What I'm referring to is pretty much like a one-on-one dialogue with people, not necessarily like a social media aspect, but I guess in a lot of aspects it could apply. But I've heard a lot of stuff over the years and a lot more recently, and it really ticks me off because people feel like, there's that old adage, like your kindness, sometimes people perceive that as a weakness. No, there's a line, and like I know personally in my case, there is no gray area. I'm gonna, eventually you're gonna tick me off so much, I'm gonna explode, and there's gonna be a major problem because you didn't choose your words correctly, or you thought you could push the boundaries, so far for so long. That doesn't work that way for a lot of people. But now on the positive side of things, just if you're in a work environment, or in a relationship, or any type of dialogue or interaction with another human being, some of the shortest phrases can really change a person's life or change a person's day. Like I'm going to try and give you some examples. Like the one that stands out the most to me is just saying thank you. Like I do a lot of, over the years, I've done a lot of stuff in Collier County. This is going to sound like I'm very critical, and I probably am. I'm going to be quite honest with you, but I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm thinking. I did a lot. Collier County is where Naples, Florida is, right? There's a lot of money down there. There's a lot of people there with a lot of wealth. You can surmise what I'm getting to, but a lot of times I would be coming in or out of a store, hold the door open for somebody who's obviously, was a better individual than me, and can't even acknowledge that you opened the door for him or say thank you or, oh, that's much appreciated, or little things like that. Those are little things like that tick me off. It's almost like they expect you to do that for them. And this is not just, that's just an example. It's not a bash on Collier County, but there is a lot of that instance. That a lot of that does occur down there. But I'm saying, like, just the simple littlest things you can do to change someone's life. It's like, I learned something in sales years ago, and I really don't like to do this to manipulate something. But what I did learn through the training course in sales is you can change a perception or a conversation based on mutual interest, right? So, like, let's say if I was a golfer, which I am not a golfer, and I walk in and I see someone who's displaying a lot of golf balls and ornaments and stuff like that, and you can kind of talk to them a little bit and then start talking to them about their passion for golf, what have you, then it automatically, it develops a trust, a sense of a bonding, so to speak, because now you're related, like, oh yeah, yeah, I golfed at Augusta one time, or whatever it is. I went there, I watched, the Masters, so, like, that's just an example. But, like, just to me, like, if you see somebody wearing like a Dallas Cowboys shirt or a hat, something like that, I always go up and give them like a knuckle pump, little contact, like, hey, Cowboys, it's my team. It's the only team I ever loved, But, you sometimes you can get a smile out of somebody, and it's just like, but some of the most basic things we can do as human beings is just say thank you. Thank you. 2 words can change a day. Thank you. Or, I appreciate that. Oh, or just a lot of the people in the service industry do not get enough thanks. And the ones I always feel bad for are people like we all have a friend, Mike's Fishing Home. He does a lot of kitchen, cooking in the kitchen and for restaurants and stuff like that. He works a lot of hours, but they do so much behind the scenes, and nobody ever seems to ever, thank them directly. I remember growing up years ago, every once in a while, I would ask for the cook to come out. Like, I don't eat fancy restaurants or anything like that. But if I had a stromboli that was, like, I thought out of this world, I would, I would ask, can you ask whoever made this come out? Because I really want to talk to them. And I think, I would say stuff like that, like, man, this is the best stromboli I've ever had in my life. I just wanted to thank you personally, and stuff like that. The waiters and the waitresses get the tips. Supposedly, some of the cooks I don't think it all trickles down. And I think the people that actually make the food, this is just an example, I don't think they always get the thanks that they really deserve. So, like Mike was talking a while back, at his place of employment, they lost a bunch of workers and stuff like that. So he filled in, out of necessity, but I kept thinking to myself, like, how much do they really appreciate Mike for him, saving basically that business, because he was doing double shifts and, working on all his days off and stuff like that. Something, whatever you can do to brighten someone's day. Your hair looks nice today, oh yeah, like, oh yeah, I love your car. I've always, dreamed of having one like that. You don't have to lie to them, but just open up and, start a dialogue with somebody, just whatever it is, or, I love how you communicate with your kids. That's really cool. I saw the patience in your situation there, or whatever it is. It's like words can change a life. Like there's so many things like we take for granted that, let's say a mother's having a rough time with her child in a stressful situation, whatever, and she's probably at wit's end because she may be going through a divorce, or maybe just went through a divorce, or is in a separation or something like that. So she is really struggling, like trying to keep everything balanced, but she's about to have a nervous breakdown. Sometimes, so not every gesture has to be monetarily, but I see all these stories on Facebook and stuff like that, if you see someone struggling in a restaurant, if you have a couple extra dollars, maybe, pay for part of their bill, pay for, their bill, whatever, or, just send them a note, whatever. There's so many things we can do to make society a better place. And I truly feel that words can change the world. Right now there's a lot of negativity out there, and I'm not gonna lie, like I have a lot of negativity in me, and I'm based on things that have happened to me. Anybody who's been watching my channel kind of know what I'm talking about, but I'm trying to release that negative energy and create a positive momentum as much as I can, even though I'm still going through difficult situation and times. So basically, my challenge to you is, we talked about this months back, like, we talked about like pay it forward and hashtag find a way to serve, just I'm gonna start a new movement. I'm not just actually, that sounds self-centered. Let's start a new movement together and just try and share a lot of positive thoughts. There's a lot of cool things I see, like especially on YouTube. Like I don't even, ever since the hurricane, I bet I haven't watched 30 minutes of TV because I don't really have access to it unless I go into a sports bar or something like that. But there's so much information available to us through technology, and I'm going to give a couple of examples, and just through social media, the platform called YouTube, which you're going to be watching this on. A YouTube friend of mine named Ken, Lone Cowboy Adventures, just had a motorcycle accident and broke both of his arms. He's going to have to go into surgery. He got pretty messed up. I mean, fortunately, he's not losing any limbs, but he's going to be in a hard place for a while. So he loves Harley-Davidsons. He was a former rodeo guy, and he's a truck driver. So he kind of fits in with a lot of the channels I follow. Some my friends follow his channel, and he's going to have a tough road ahead when he has his surgery on Tuesday. But he just hit 600 subscribers, which is really cool. For him, he's not real aggressive going out there chasing views and stuff like that. But I know he's concerned about, you know, views and channel content, stuff like that. So, like, it's, I want people to be aware of who he is, what he went through, and let's see what we can do for him. Since I know he likes the Harley Davidsons, I'm going to make tonight. I'm filming this tonight on Friday night, the 21st. It may not be released until Saturday a.m. But I'm gonna go out to the local Harley-Davidson dealership because they were going to take 2 weeks vacation traveling by motorcycle from Missouri to Florida and enjoy some time and just visit a lot of sites and stuff like that. So now that's been canned. So my desire is to bring as much Florida through my friends and my network of, you know, people, which is not huge. I'm not some big channel, but let's bring as much happiness and vacation time back to Missouri. You know, let's do, what can we do to help Ken from Lone Star, or not Lone Star, Lone Cowboy Adventures. I'm thinking Texas Lone Star. Sorry about that. But so if you have a Harley-Davidson dealership near you and you can find one of those poker chips or something like that, or you have a decal or something you can send to Kent. Oh, I just hit the tripod. Sorry about that. That would be a cool way to do something positive. JJ Drones just hit over 1,000 subscribers. He's doing a lot of great things. He helps a lot of channels. I was sitting down thinking about some stuff, but words can really change someone's future. You know, it can be positive or negative. So I encourage you to find a way. Like what I like to do, to be honestly, and it's going to sound crazy as hell with my channel name, but when kids are with their parents, then every once in a while I'll say, oh, like your hair looks nice, or that's a beautiful little dress, or oh, I like the Dallas Cowboys too, or oh, who's your favorite Tampa Bay Buccaneers player, stuff like that. I only do that when the parents are around. Kids are about, I'm not touching any of that when kids aren't, with an adult or anything. But any type of interaction I do with kids, just for protection, it can be towards adults, parents, senior citizens, or whatever. And senior citizens always have a special place in my heart, trying to help them out. There's a guy in the neighborhood here where my mom lives. I talked to him about 6 months ago. He said he's 91 years old. He's in one of those little hover rounds, and he pulls up to one of these little ponds there. He could be 92 by now. And he said his actual name is Jesse James, but he says he goes by the name Jake. This cool old guy just sits out there and under like a shade tree, and I don't really even think he's really trying to fish too hard. I think he just goes out there more for like rest and relaxation. So I've stopped to talk to him a few times just to, because I admire his hustle, and I gave him a hat hook, a couple times, and just gave him a couple little baits I had in my truck, and my van, I say truck, my van, whatever. But I encourage you this weekend, please try and think of other people. Let's start changing the world with positive impact. Thank you. Much appreciated. I love your car. Your dress looks beautiful. Your hair looks beautiful. I'm not going to say lie. Sometimes you have to do that in a relationship. Does this dress make my ass look big? No, honey, you're perfect. But no, I'm just kidding. Anyway, let's change the world with some positive thoughts, some positive words, and then let's try and eliminate as much as possible negativity. All right, peace out, folks. And love talking to you guys. Let's change the world. A couple words at a time. Thank you.